dear brothers and respected sisters, I greet you all with a greeting of peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. All praise is due to Allah. We bear witness and we testify that there is no deity worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we bear witness and we testify that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his messenger and his slave. All salawats and salams be upon our Prophet, upon his noble family, his righteous companions, and all those who follow his path till the last day. My dear brothers and respected sisters in Islam, today I was planning to talk about something else, but I changed my topic last moment because just yesterday I received a call from someone who is even here today, someone who is not even a Muslim, and I happened to pick up that phone at work, and she asked me a few things about Islam, and she wants to learn more about Islam, and she asked me if she's able to come to the mosque. And I chose to talk about this topic because we Muslims, the way that Allah has guided us, we don't think only about ourselves, but we should think about others as well. And it's a golden statement of our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, that said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. No one will be able to call themselves a true believer unless they love for their brothers and their sisters what they love for themselves. As Muslims, it is very important for all of us that we are here today. We have to work hard because Allah chose you and me to be here today. But this is not just for ourselves. This is also to convey this message to other people out there, especially some of you that, and all of us by the way, none of us was born praying to Allah. None of us was born fasting. We'll learn Islam later on. And that is not just for ourselves, but also to convey this message of peace, the true meaning of Islam, to other people as well. How many people we know, people who even call themselves Muslims, they want to take that step towards practicing Islam, or a non-Muslim who has learned something about Islam and they want to take that step to revert to Islam, but there's always that but. You know, that but comes from Satan, comes from Shaitan. You know, I want to go to the mosque, but I have this and I have to do this. Shaitan always will come, the Satan, and whisper in your ears. Even when it comes to giving charity for the sake of Allah. We all have experienced this. You know, when it comes to buying toys for your kids or buying things for your house, we don't think twice. Doesn't matter how expensive that is. When it comes to something that is, you know, for the sake of God, giving to a mosque or giving to a, you know, sponsoring an orphan or whatever it is, the Satan will come and say, but you know, you're young, you need to get married, or if you're married, you know, you're going to have kids, you're going to pay bills. All those things come to your mind, all, you know, out of nowhere. And remember, that is from Shaitan, that is from Satan. So we have to be very careful. Because, my dear brothers and sisters, Satan promised God. Shaitan promised God, and he said, this is mentioned in the Quran, surely I will sit in wait against them, against human beings, especially Muslims. Then I will come to them from before them, from behind them, from their side, their right and their left. So Shaitan is always there, and that's why these people that want to embrace Islam, or those people who want to start practicing Islam, they always have, I want to do this but. And inshallah today, we'll talk about this but. And this is very important. As I said, even though I chose this topic out of respect for our sister that is here today, but this topic is for all of us. We all meet people. We all have family members that are not guided. Is that true? family members, that they never prostrated to Allah even once in their lifetime. And imagine those people dying in that state. What do you think is going to happen to them? So we go back to that hadith that we are not selfish. Religion, Islam teaches us to think of other people as well. You know, saving one human being, and it's not saving just, you know, not to die, but saving, and you know, so someone can embrace Islam. It's the same thing as like saving the entire humanity. Because all these issues, all these problems and anxieties and you know, people face is because of lack of faith, lack of iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are Muslims. We believe that all our affairs are in Allah's hands. We put our trust in Allah. And once you have that faith, you know that everything else means nothing. You're happy. That inner peace that matters the most. That most of our children, most of our youth are struggling to find that. Why? Because they're away from Islam. Even though they were born as Muhammad, even though they were born as Ahmed and Muhammad and Mahmoud and all these beautiful names, but when it comes to practicing Islam, they are far away. So the question is, are we doing enough? Some people are saying, yeah, but you know that they insult us, they do this. Yeah, they insulted the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. But he never stopped calling people to the truth. And that truth, and the only truth that is accepted by Allah is Islam. Inna deena inda Allah Islam. The only religion that is accepted by Allah is Islam. So my dear brothers, you know, a lot of people, when they want to come closer to Islam or come closer to the mosque or whatever, all what they try to do, if it's a non-Muslim, they say, I have few concerns. If I become a Muslim, should I change my name? You know, they have this misconception about Islam, and rightly so, because there are some Muslims that are ignorant. They told them, no, you have to change your name. Who said that? That people have to change their names if they come to Islam? No one! Unless your name is something that means contradict Islam, that is another story. But if your name is Michael, if your name is John, you know, Michael is actually a name of an angel. Michael is from Mikael. So Mikael is an angel that just became Europe. You know, from Europe they changed it a bit. But nothing wrong keeping your name if you want to embrace Islam. No one should dare to tell you or tell anyone that once you embrace Islam, you have to become a different person all of a sudden. No, my dear brothers and sisters. No. Keep your name. Keep whatever you were doing, do it. All it takes is to embrace Islam in the beginning. We don't expect them to be imams and to be scholars and then embrace Islam. That wouldn't make any sense. As long as they believe fully with their heart, and they want to say freely that there is no deity worthy of worship but Allah. And Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is his messenger and his slave. That should be enough for anyone to come to Islam. Everything else comes after. Everything else comes after. This is for non-Muslims. When it comes to some Muslims, that so-called Muslims that I have met myself, when they want to come closer to Islam, all they do is they compare themselves with some Muslims that are inside the mosque. Yeah, they say, you know, you're saying this, but you know, there's someone who comes and prays in front of you all the time, and I know he's a cheater, and I know he's a liar, and I know he's this, and I know he's that. Maybe he is. But we cannot compare Islam to people. I am a religious leader, I'm an imam. And I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. I commit sins just like any one of you. Islam is perfect. We are not. So don't compare Islam with any human being. Doesn't matter whether it's an imam or a haji or whoever that person is. Because Allah created that person to make mistakes. they say, yes, but you know this person until yesterday he was drinking, he was gambling, he was doing this, he was doing that, and now all of a sudden he's coming to pray, he's coming to do this kind of things. You've heard these things before. Instead of being happy for those people, saying alhamdulillah that Allah guided them. This is the beauty of Islam, my dear brothers and respected sisters. You know, people embrace Islam and they repent in their last breath in this world. In the last breath they understood the truth and they said the shahada. And that's how they died. You remember even at the time of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. You know that Jewish boy, he was very sick. Prophet, what did he do? He didn't stay in the mosque as an imam and as a prophet, which is the biggest status in Islam. He himself went to visit that boy, didn't he? And when he went there, he didn't just stay there and say, okay, I did my job. No. He wanted to save him. And then he was asking him to say shahada, to say the declaration of faith. You remember the boy looked at his father. The father said yes. As soon as he declared the declaration of faith, he died. And Prophet was very happy that he was able to save this young boy. There were other times where janazas were passing by. And Prophet asked, who is this person? They said, this is from another faith. Prophet got sad. He said, another person I wasn't able to save and he died like that. Do we feel like that? Do we feel if any member of our community dies in that state? Do we say to ourselves, have we done enough? Have I done enough as a religious leader? Have you done enough as Muslim community to convey this message of Islam? Not just to our community, but also to others. Have we done enough? Number two, we've got this misconception not only from non-Muslims but also from Muslims themselves. They say that, in order for me to become religious, practicing religion or become a Muslim for that matter, I have to learn Arabic. They have to learn Arabic. And because of this misconception that, Islam belongs to Arabs, and all Arabs are Muslim, and any Arab you see, he must be more religious than you are, all these kind of things, which is nothing true. How many, I know for my community, and I know I can easily say 95 or 99%, 99 point something percent, if you're not an Arab, you don't know Arabic. And yet you're a Muslim, and yet you pray, and yet you fast. Isn't that true? So, if you don't know Arabic, doesn't mean that you cannot revert to Islam. Okay? Islam is for all mankind, it's not only for Arabs. Or some say, yeah, but I'm white, I don't fit in. So are we. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, there is no difference between being white and being black. And this is not just now. This is 14 centuries ago. Prophet ﷺ, what did he say? لا فرق بين عربي وعجمي. There is no difference between an Arab and an Arab. There is no difference between white and black. Who put those foundations of human rights 14 centuries ago? It's our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. It's Islam, it's our faith. You understand? So my dear brothers, even for those of you that, you are in between, should I do this or shouldn't I do this and all these kind of things, please don't look at other people. Everyone is responsible for themselves. Isn't that so? You go back to the source of Islam, and that is the Holy Book, the Holy Quran, and the tradition of our Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. So people might say, which happened to a lot of us, I want to come close to Islam. I want to revert to Islam, but I don't know anything about Islam. Again, I go back to my previous point. You don't have to know everything about Islam and then revert. Because there is no guarantee that you're going to live for another week. As long as you believe, and even when they say the Shahada, the declaration of faith, they repeat after us. Maybe even that Shahada they don't know. That's fine. There's no problem there. And then later on, inshallah, slowly, they will be able something I want to emphasize here, which I feel embarrassed because a lot of people who embrace Islam through me, alhamdulillah, for 10 years, there are more than 50 of them. But the problem we have is we never follow up what happens to them. They came, until they embrace Islam, we try to give them answers, whatever they want, everything, but once they do, we never pick up that phone and say, hey, do you need any help? Hey, is there something we can do for you? If it's a sister, or mothers and or sisters to say, hey, you've got our support. Why? Because some of them say, yeah, but what am I going to do with my family? None of them are Muslim. So if they don't have our support, they're gonna be alone. No one is there to protect them and support them. Have we done anything like that? Unfortunately, most of us, we haven't. So something to ponder, my dear brothers and sisters. If you know someone who embraced Islam, if you're someone who is struggling to come close to Islam, be there for them. Help them. Not put them down. Not talk about them. But help them. In the kindest way you can. Even if they make mistakes, so what? And what is a beautiful thing in Islam that you can never find anywhere else, in any other faith, for those people that embrace Islam. It's not just all their previous sins will be forgiven. That's number one. So automatically, when someone embraces Islam, that person becomes better than me and better than all of us here. Because all their sins are what? Forgiven. But that's not all. Not just forgiven. All the sins that they have done, Allah will convert those sins into good deeds. Wallah, you can never find this. That's why when you know about Islam, when you know about this faith that Allah has guided us, how proud and honored we should feel, we shouldn't keep it just to ourselves. We should convey it to other people as well. In any way possible. Whether with your actions, whether with your words, or in any way, even with your neighbors, even people on the street, any way you can. Wallahi, all it takes, just one kind word. All it takes is one action. You help someone needs help on the street, you go and help, or you say hello, or you say whatever. That might soften that person's heart to embrace Islam. And who became the reason? You. And what does that mean for you? Prophet ﷺ said, if someone embraces Islam through you, so you're the reason Allah sent you, the reason for any person to embrace Islam is better than this world and whatever is in it. Some say, this person won jackpot, these lotteries and stuff. If someone embraces Islam through you, it's like winning all the jackpots of the world. Because Allah says it's better for you than this world and whatever is in it. So you see the reward, my dear brothers and sisters. All we have to do is, we don't have to change, we don't have to lie, because Islam is the most beautiful faith. It's a way of life. All we have to do is just convey it to others. And practice it ourselves. All this mosque that we have, and this is the last thing I want to mention, is you see here, alhamdulillah, we have people from everywhere. Some of you I meet only here, I don't know where you're from, what language you speak. You understand? You see, even in the holiest place in Islam, in the Holy Kaaba, have you seen those photos where the cleaner leads the prayer? And all those ministers came afterwards to the place because he started the prayer. All of them were praying behind him. Because in Islam, it doesn't matter whether you're a cleaner, or you're a president, or you're a minister. Inside the house of God, we are all equal. We are all the same. Because you're rich, you don't deserve a spot in the first line here. If you came late, you stay over there. You understand? This is the true meaning of Islam, my dear brothers and sisters. So please, convey the message of Islam to your loved ones. And I emphasize this all the time, if you learn something beautiful, something good, if your wife or your brother, your sister wasn't able to attend the Jum'ah, convey that message. At least, Prophet Lord said, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Convey from me, even if it's one verse, one thing, one small thing. And that's how we practice the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I ask Allah to make us of those that we are role models for all those outside, for family members, the community, and non-Muslims, Ya Rabbil Alameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that we are able to practice Islam ourselves properly and try to convey this message to other people, Ya Rabbil Alameen. I ask Allah to make us of those that He will make us a reason for other people to come closer to Islam and to revert to this beautiful religion, Ya Rabbil Alameen. I ask Allah to make us of those that we love, we respect, we care for one another, only for His sake, Ya Rabbil Alameen. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those that we are able to feed ourselves and our families with halal and to stay away from haram, Ya Rabbil Alameen. To make us of those that He's pleased with us in this world and the next. Ameen. وقولوا قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه. سأستغفر الله إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.